Ladies and gentlemen, the Warbosses of the Apocalypse.
Live.
Yeah! It's the Warbosses back after, well, I've been away for a little while. for an impromptu hobby hangout. A Sunday night extravaganza with us four gits. Dread from Dreadwild Gaming. Hello, Dread.
Right.
Hey,
Greetings,
good,
boys and gits.
All good. And Sid, the drunken orc.
Hello.
And Scar from Plastic Crack Gaming.
What's the crack?
So what's everyone up to tonight?
I am going to
Bit of painting?
Continue painting. I've been trying the old non-metallic metal. I'll continue giving that a bash. I've been having a little bit of fun with it. I've actually been trying it on an Ork chopper. I don't know if I have it to... There we go. Not the... Jesus, if I had... green screen to the rescue. Yeah, look at that blurry mess. Look at how amazing it looks. Whoa, yeah. Look at it.
It's looking good. It's a hard thing to nail, though, isn't it? That
it's a pain in
I've
the
not tried
bleeding
it.
hole. You need the patience of a saint. You're basically trying to wet blend like several. And the problem with Ork weapons is they're not smooth, so there are several angles. So each one of them you have to paint as its own little thing. But I mean, it's good crack. I'm enjoying it. It's good practice. I'm primarily doing it so I can do it for me mechs, but I'm, you know, with the airbrush and all the Storm Boys and trying stuff like that, I'm trying to sort of expand me horizons when it comes to the painting. You know what I mean? I'm sort of,
diversify your skill set.
Yeah, exactly. Feeling me creativity and challenging myself. Like, what can't I do? What would I like to do? And I was like, oh, no, metallic metal. I've never even tried it before. I'll give it a bash.
And so you're going to do a whole mob of boys with non-metallic metal choppers, yeah?
In my whole, a whole mob of boys. We'll see if I can get it down. I'm enjoying it, but I don't know if I'll go back and repaint all the metal on all my orcs. That's a bit of a tall order, but I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. It's definitely for me mechs. I'm building a force for a campaign that they're going to do at the club. So I'll do a video about that soon enough. I actually have several videos in the bleeding pipeline being edited, and Jesus, editing takes forever, lads. Love of Christ, like.
Yeah, don't
Not wrong,
yeah.
But yeah, I've been enjoying MechWarrior 5. I've been having loads of fun, going to Games Expo, going to competitions, trying non-metallic metal. I'm up to me eyeballs, but I'm loving it. It's good crack. What about the rest of this?
Well, I'm going to be painting. I'll change me Chimera. Ooh, look at that.
Oh, very swish.
I'm going to be trying to put some paint on these little grot tanks using the GW pigmented putties. Which I don't know if you're familiar with them. Well, they look like this. And when it's 24 degrees, it's basically, you might as well apply it with a fucking back of a spoon. Because it's ridiculous. So I've got plenty of water to try and actually thin me paints to some sort of consistency that I can actually apply with a brush. If I get the 3 little tank commanders done on these 3, I'll be happy.
Nice.
I'm really happy indeed. That's my aim for tonight.
I'm painting for the first time in a couple of months, I think. I haven't done any hobby for a while. I'm finding it hard to get the mojo, but just force myself for coming on with you guys. So I'm just doing some not the table, doing some details on the gas and go.
Nice.
And there are plenty of details on that.
I am at the moment actually applying paint. So there you go. It's first time for a long while.
Hey, hobby win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
Good evening, Sci-Fi. We've got Sci-Fi in the chat. Hello, mate. How you doing? And me, I'm sitting here drinking San Miguel. Other beers are available. I'm not promoting them. I'm not really doing much hobby. First time I've been outside for probably 5 weeks, I reckon. Since I've been in the hobby zone. Just been working. too
Hey,
much.
Jesus, they've
and
had
just
you
having a
chained to
little
that hub, all right, haven't they?
go. They have indeed. They have indeed. It's been a bit mental, but I knew it was going to be mad this first summer at the new gaff. So yeah, been a bit tough to wind down after work. I had my brother-in-law over from Australia as well. So yeah, he stayed with us for a week, which was really nice. Yeah. Sci-fi says it looks like I'm in an apocalypse shelter. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But something from Fallout. I did download Fallout 3 though after watching Fallout on Amazon.
Did you?
Yeah, and I've been smashing that out in the evenings for a bit. Yeah,
It's a really good one actually. I've played that one and completed it, but I haven't played. I think I barely played 4, but I like 3.
Yeah.
3's a really good one.
4's
it's just 3 was the one I remembered. Yeah.
4's the one I completed. I played to death until me unfortunate incident with the 2-headed cow. Which the game made it unplayable as far as I was concerned.
What was the unfortunate incident? I need to know.
I was just jumping over. I jumped over a house in one of my own settlements, my first and original and bestest settlement. The one that had like walls all the way around it, was the size of the village I grew up in. Had like skyscrapers in it and forts and all sorts of shit. And I was on my way out for whatever. And instead of going through a gate, I thought I'd use my jetpack and jump over a house. I did.
Yeah.
I landed on a cow. The cow went, and the other head went, and it got freaked out, and I'd done a tiny bit of damage to it. And a couple of people who were living in my village, picking carrots nearby, went, "Hey, you hurt the cow," when the kid running after us. So I was like, fuck off. Running away, and they were chasing after us, and we just ran through the wasteland for about 10 minutes. I couldn't get rid of them. And I couldn't fast travel away because they were too close. They were enemies.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'm miles away from anywhere here. So I killed them. And then all the settlements turned against us.
Oh, no.
I was a baddie. And I went and wiped one. I wiped one of them out and killed everyone. And then they all came back and they were fine. They were cool again. I was like, oh, that's good. Except for Codswallop, whatever he's called. Codsworth. The little robot fella.
Yeah.
He can hold a fucking grudge, him. And he just, every time he saw us, he said, "Oh, enemy, man." And he went for us. I just kept having to slap him down, but I was like, this is rubbish. And then one of the DLCs came out where you could upgrade your mechs, upgrade your your robots and that. So I upgraded them, thinking that might fix it. And it just made him a lot harder to slap down.
I was about to say, did you just make it worse?
He was a fucking behemoth. I was like,
oh shit.
Right, I'm not playing anymore. And I spat my dummy out. I'd finished the story and everything. I was just like building shit.
Yeah, doing your bits, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, I played the whole game like a fucking toddler, to be fair. Like, what was the organization called? The sciencey dudes in the white coats.
Voltec.
They had like, they were behind everything. And you
Voltec.
Was it Voltec?
It's not the Brotherhood of Steel. It's the other ones. What are they called?
Their sort of bases were sort of underground, and it was all dead high tech, like glass and like what you'd expect a science fiction future to be like. And there were loads of scientists in that, and there was a big sort of meeting, or very important little story going on, and there was a room with about 20 of these scientists in it, and I was stood in it, saying in a not a cutscene, but interacting. And the playing through what's happening in the story. And I just was like, oh, I'm getting bored. I'm bored. I went, oh, I'm going to kill them. So I killed them all. And then, like, the entire base came after us. But I just stood in this room with a gun pointed at the door, and all their invisible security kept running in. Every time I saw a shimmer, I was like, it just killed every fucker in the base. I was like, right, well, that was stupid.
So I saying the institute, was it the institute?
Institute, that's it. That's it.
That,
something like prostitute.
The Brazzers.
It was a good game. I still really enjoyed it. And plus, super mutants were like orcs. That's how I saw it. Did you have super mutants in 3?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was super
super
mutants.
mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they reminded me a lot of orcs. I mean, at the time I wasn't back into this, so
Yeah.
but they still did. The big green dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid.
Yeah, a little bit. But the miniguns are a pain in the ass at the beginning.
There indeed.
Everything was a pain in the arse at the beginning. They got killed by fucking cockroaches.
Yeah.
Popping up the
Red
ground and
roaches.
shit. Yeah.
Fucking
And little
scorpions I'm
guys
having
with
trouble with.
supermarket trolleys on the shoulders and all that sort of stuff. Hiding from them.
I've not
you
bothered
watched
watching
the,
the show
Amazon?
yet. How is it? Is it decent?
Have you not?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good, actually. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, Walton Goggins is. I mean, I love him at fucking everything he's been in. He was mint in Sons of Anarchy, Justified, mint and Justified. He's class in all out and all.
He was in Hateful Eight as well, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was. He was Hateful 5. Maybe a 12.5% chance of getting that right.
Not the best of Tarantino's films, but yeah.
I thought it was all right.
Ah.
It was better than the parody one, the Adam Sandler one, the Shit 6 or whatever it was called. That was woeful.
Jesus.
Oh.
Voodoo Fairies in the stream, in the chat now. BC's here. What's the crack?
BC's in.
Rock Lobster. What's the story, lads? How are you all keeping? How are things?
What are the chat up to? Are they doing any hobby?
I'll just say an evening and saying they should probably paint something. I get you.
Yeah.
I'm busy basing. I think the old non-metallic metals are a bit much for me to try on a stream, so I think I'll just stick to trying to do base work on the mix. I find like if I try and do like a very concentrated paint job on a stream, you end up sort of zoning out. It's like tunnel vision. The level of concentration.
Just see the top of your head all night, and that's it. Yeah. All right, Dredge.
Yeah, I'm just doing some really minute details, which is probably not the right thing to be doing. So
yeah. I mean, like, the cops shouldn't even bother to try and get you to walk on a line. Here, paint this miniature and talk to me at the same time. It's like, nobody passes. You're all drunk. Fines everywhere.
You're all pissed.
Well, you just have to watch pick a Twitch stream where somebody's painting, and 90% of them, it's just, obviously they're concentrating because they're painting something. It's generally a commission or something, and it's just quiet and painting with that little background music and your occasional scream of, get to the job or whatever from the
subscriptions.
Yes, that's
yeah. True.
If you're watching me while that's happening, you get a great shot of the ball spot as well. Oh, wicked! Jesus Christ! I didn't know he still made that.
Iron brew flavor.
Iron brew. I don't know if you
so
have that over in the
UK.
Warboss challenge.
It just
that was the original one, the orange one.
Blue. I remember Blue was the first one I came
across. Blue,
I
thought also.
No, Blue was the second one.
Nah.
It was orange and then it was blue, and the blue one became really, really, really popular. And became like the most popular
one. I don't know what the story was in the UK.
15 again.
In Ireland, it became popular because we used to make a drink called a Fat Frog, where you get like a Bacardi Breezer orange, a Smirnoff Ice, and a Blue Wicket, and a pint glass, and put all three of them into the one thing, and it made a green sort of drink. Did you have that? No.
Not a Fat Frog.
What
was in it? Sorry.
Smirnoff Ice.
WKD.
Wicked Blue, and then Bacardi Breezer orange. Do you remember they did that?
Yeah.
And it was a green drink then, but it was
I used to love
nice.
the Bacardi Breezers. They were nice.
We used to have something called a Blastaway, which was just a bottle of Castaway and a bottle of Diamond White, and that went to sort of it just tasted like lilt and lethal. Well, it was me more lethal than anything else, but you just go, oh, I love pop, mate. Oh, I love it.
Totally tropical taste.
And you were like 17 or something, so it's
totally tropical.
That you're eating a liver.
Yeah.
Those early, when you're young and you buy them like massive bottles of cider, and you're like sharing it between you and your mate, and you're like, go, 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 and you get that burp that comes up that you didn't sort of expect that goes up your nose. You know, that fizzy burp.
Yeah.
You sometimes get. Oh, geez, that on cider is horrible, isn't it? Oh, geez,
It is
like
it is when
burns,
you're drinking a 3-litre bottle of Frosty Jacks or something like that. Yeah. Massive
White
big
lightning.
blue plastic bottle. It's you could put a coat on it and have to buy the ticket on the bus. It's fucking massive.
Yeah, you know what I mean. When you're like literally, you've got like the last quarter in one of those bottles. It all like the pressure does, doesn't it? It causes massive burps.
You had to buy them from the shop though and drink them straight away because if you took it home, you couldn't fit that fucker in the fridge. No way. And that was even worse when it was warm. The bubbles got too big. If that makes any sense.
Oh, dirty.
We used to do a cheeky Vimto as well.
Cheeky.
That was Blue Wicked, and Port.
Oof.
And honest to God, it just tastes like Vimto.
Nice.
Port, 3/4 Blue Wicked, and it's just that's just Vimto that.
Oh.
And a dirty Dr Pepper, which was just amaretto and oh shit, what was that amaretto? What? I was just amaretto and Coke with a splash of lager.
Oh,
Lager.
Yeah,
Sophistication.
I know. I'd never put the lager in, and then somebody went, "You know, put lager in." I went, "Why would I put lager in?" He goes, "Where you got it? You put making a proper drink." And I was like,
I've had a Dr Pepper, but it wasn't that. It was I'm trying to think what it was now. It's amaretto dropped into something.
I think it was amaretto and Coke. That might just be amaretto and Coke. It was amaretto and something with a splash of lager.
It's like they give you a big, they give you a tumbler and then they give you a shot glass, and they drop one into the other. Oh, it might be Red Bull.
Oh, Jaeger
Is
bomb.
it not Jaeger bomb?
Jägermeister and Red Bull. Jaeger bomb.
That'd be Jaeger.
Jägermeister dropped it. I was drinking them last
But
Friday.
they do one just like that called a Dr Pepper. Not the Jaeger bomb. It's called a Dr Pepper. Can't remember where I had it. Well, nice though.
Bailey's for men was a nice one. It's like basically Jameson's with a splash of Bailey's. That was nice.
We used to do Baby Guinness, which was Tia Maria with a Bailey's head on it.
I was drinking them on Friday as well, yeah. Yeah. Never get out. Somebody always gets Baby Guinness.
They do that at the Indian restaurant sometimes, the Tia Maria with the Baileys on top as well.
The Baby Guinness. Should have asked at the last one we were at, Sid, the last Indian restaurant. We should have been, around the Baby Guinness before we head off there.
We should have been. We had the car, but
the amount of food we had, it would have absorbed in anyway.
You've been drinking, sir? I had 4, but they were just little
Guinnesses. Down drinking and driving.
No, not at all.
You spill it. Oh, Sambuca stories. Yes, I've got a terrible one.
I love Sambuca though. People fucking hate it. I love it, man. It's great.
It's all right.
You like the Sambuca and you lick your hand and you give it the old shake, don't you? You froth it out and then you neck it. That's just the standard. We all did that in a Chinese restaurant. Group of mates all sitting around.
As Ouzo,
my mate went to the toilet and we'd lit his Sambuca and then he came back and he just pissed out of his face, licks his hand, sticks it on the glass. The glass just shattered and he had this burnt ring around his hand for weeks on his hand. He still drank it, even though the glass shattered. Just an animal. But
I'll be honest.
Blister he had on his hand.
I don't know what you meant.
The good old days.
That was last week.
I've never understood what you meant to do with lighting it. Why do you light it? When do you light it?
Yeah, you're burning off the alcohol. I've never understood that. It's like
I've seen people lighting it on videos and drinking it and just setting the fucking cells.
Yes, setting the whole place on fire. Yeah.
That doesn't look good.
No.
Isn't Sambuca and Ouzo the same thing?
Similar.
Not with aniseed, yeah.
Yeah, aniseed flavour. And pastis and Pernod and all them horrible things.
Now, Pernod, I don't normally drink Pernod, funnily enough. But on my stag do.
I wonder what you meant until you said Pernod. Now I know what you mean.
On my stag do, I was would hire out this cabin by Killa reservoir, up in
Oh, this is going to be a good story, I can tell. Go on.
And my brother-in-law came into the room where I was just at the front room. Most people were outside, so it was a nice night, and if you could brave the midges, it was canny. And I was in the room getting knackered on what I was doing. And he came in and went, outside now? And I'm like, why? He went, you're doing a siphon? And I was like, oh, right. So I went out, and he had a jug, like a 2-pint jug full of lager, siphon tube and a funnel. And the idea is you get in your back, tube in, like the drill, pour the siphon tube in, drink the whole thing in seconds. So again, that looks a lot though. Why don't you just pour a can in like everybody else is doing? He goes, well, you're the stag, so you need to have more. And I was like,
fair enough.
That makes sense.
It makes sense.
I got me back and put the tube in, and he poured the jug in, and it must have took it was under 10 seconds to drink the whole lot because it just flies down your throat.
Yeah.
And I whacked it down, and I just went, that wasn't lager. He goes, it was a can of lager and a pint of Pernod. I was like, you fucking cunt.
Oh, no.
And I got up and I was like, right, I'm going to go around the corner and purge. I'm going to have to chuck this up, otherwise I'm fucking done. Right? Because it was still light, it wasn't exactly evening or anything.
It wasn't
the end of the night.
I only with 4 or 5 drinks in. So I started walking around the corner where I chose my spot to spew. And I got halfway there and I thought, oh, do you know what it is? It is me stag do. I've got 2 nights. I'm supposed to be as the state. I'll just take it. So I went back, and within 15 minutes, there was a photo of us just sort of leaning on there was a foosball table, and I'm just sort of leaning on it, like giving a shaky thumbs up. And then about quarter of an hour, 20 minutes after that, I was just curled up in a ball under the telly asleep. And that was me for the night. I woke up at 6 in the morning. My brother had put a pillow under my head and put a blanket on us on the floor.
Jesus.
But then again, I wouldn't want to pick us up. It would be a chore. But yeah, so that was the last time I had Pernod.
So, somewhat traumatized then.
It doesn't really. It's not a drink that comes around much.
Yeah, the last time I remember
good night out, lad. I'll get the Pernod. You know what I mean?
I had a mate drinking it at our Debs. I don't know what you call them in the UK, or it's like when you're leaving school finally, and he's all going a big fucking deal. One of my mates was drinking Pernod and blackcurrant. That is the last time I remember it. That was 18 years ago this year. It's like, that's how that's how frequently it crosses.
Oh dear.
I think those sort of leaving dues from school back in my day were called them leaving dues.
I mean, it's the same thing. We call them.
I think it's all proms and that nowadays, isn't it? They've took on the American prom.
Proms, yeah, or Debs. We just call them Debs. Oh, yeah. I found out my clan Max. Oh yeah. Well, what the fuck's that?
That's slow gin, that.
Oh, you bastards! I did give it to you though. I was like, go on, finish that, polish that off there. Now, unless Dim has drank it, the bollocks, we should have a whole litre of that still.
Oh, it smells so good. I need a glass.
A glass? Novice.
Okay.
I remember the first Warboss meet. That was when I learned the hard way how potent that stuff was. We were sitting down in the drinking apartment and the eating apartment, or whatever. We had the gaming apartment, and we had the other apartment. And we were sitting down and drinking, and I was sipping away, and I go, oh, this is lovely. Sip it away, as you do. And then I was like, oh, I need to go to the Jacks. And then stood up, and there was a very unexpected wobble there. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is straight gin, isn't it? Jesus.
That's when I noticed it too, is going to the loo and leaning the head against the back wall. then you know, don't you? You're like,
that's a classic, that.
Feeling it.
You know, time just stood in your Rhino in town or something having a piss, and then just slowly leant forward until he hit the wall. That's all right. Go on, Nick, you've got this.
Probably.
Yeah, that's most of the time how I end up when I go drinking.
Oh, God. Fun times.
I can't handle my drink. I'm such a lightweight.
Well, we were too busy at the last meet to be drinking, to be honest with you. It was all go, wasn't it?
I'll be honest, when it comes to drink, like if I don't have a banging headache, then I'm having a great time. because it's such a rare thing for me to be able to have a drink and not end up with a massive headache. That if I'm having a drink and I haven't currently got a headache, I'm having a great time.
Well, we were talking about this. I would like to say I was out on Friday, not Friday gone actually, the Friday before. It was a lad at work's funeral, so just to bring us out down. But you know, afterwards we all went to town and we had a drink and memories and you know that sort of stuff. It was good crack. Yeah. But we're talking about when we were younger, and it was like, oh, I never got a hangover when I was younger. And then we got on to after that. It was the fact that when we were really young, stupidly, it was stupid really, 13, 14, you take like 4 paracetamol before you started drinking because it got you pissed quicker. I was like, no fucking wonder I never woke up with a headache. It was like, but still have liver damage. It was ridiculous. And then it was like, did you ever used to put tab ash in your drink? Or somebody put cigarette ash in your drink, gets you pissed quicker.
What? I heard the whole drinking your drink with a straw so that there's no air mixing with you gets you pissed quicker. That's
yeah.
But not bleeding
I've heard
cigarette ash. What
but
the
cigarette
fuck?
ash? Horrible. Idiotic.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This is not life advice from the Warboss.
No, God, no. Jesus Christ.
I think this is advice of what not to do.
Not
this
to
is
do,
ex- this is
exactly.
exactly what
Learn
this is.
from our mistakes. Yeah.
Don't repeat them.
Yeah.
So, I did notice that some of the new Ork detachments have been hit with a nerf.
Oh,
Yeah.
Have they? I haven't looked into it. Come on, see it.
Yeah, just I hate to sort of like drag it away from sort of like how to fuck yourself up. It's you know, something remotely hobby related. But the bully boys have got a bit of a hit insofar
Not
as
allowed to take. Not
allowed them anymore.
What do you mean you're not allowed them anymore? What?
No, you are. Of course, yeah.
Vulnerable, isn't it?
Battletech tournaments, fucking, I've no idea. They could have banned the orcs altogether for all I know. You know what I mean?
They've written them out of the law.
I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly, I would not be surprised at this stage.
No, yeah, they've written them out of the law. They said it was a misprint. It was actually always forks. There's just lots of forks. Basically, 40K is one massive Alanis Morissette song where there's just there's millions of forks, millions and millions of them. You know, that's all it is. I only want a knife. But no, the Mega Knobs have lost the 4-up fuel pain. It's
Really?
dropped to a 5-up.
Oh,
it's a 5-up in the war. And I think that was the main one. That's sort of like they did go up 10 points each as well, Mega Knobs, like per model, which is a bit fucking spicy, that mind. And boys in the Green Tide have lost their 5-up invul. It's dropped to a 6-up invul, unless there's over 10, in which case it goes to a 5-up. And I think they might have lost the reroll 1.
Not knowing anything good.
You wonder why they don't give 2 hoots about what
there's
they
a few
are
other things
doing.
they've done with the boys as well. Like the pain boys went up about 10 points. The pain boss went up 10 points, despite the fact that nobody actually uses a pain boss. But when they've done that, type in the word pain and just add 10 to the points. Of obviously he's got caught in friendly fire. Weird boys have gone up because they get used a lot. Warbosses. Now I don't know what I make of this rule. The rule says for Uni's 4 extra attacks during the war. It is when you declare a war, this character gets 4 extra attacks or something like that. But the key being when you declare the war. And they've said that if he's in a truck, when you declare the war, and then he jumps out in the war turn and fights, he doesn't get the +4 attacks. Because you declared the war in the command field at the start of the turn when he was in a truck, and as he was in a truck, he was off the battlefield and not subject to the rule.
I don't like where you declare the war.
Everybody's sort of saying that's the reading of it. I just think it's wick that.
You should just declare at the start of your own turn, and it lasts into your opponent's turn, regardless of whether you're first or
like
second.
It used to be.
The way it used to be. There's absolutely no reason to change it. It's just fucking confusing.
No, I don't think there was.
Yeah.
Rock Lobster's asking if anyone else is confused by the Mega Knobs double nerf. If you mean like the +10 points and the dropping the fuel no pain, yeah, massively.
Yeah, they're not Space Marines, mate. That's why.
I think Space Marines are even worse off, mate. To be fair, I don't understand how Eldari have managed to be so powerful for so long.
Are they still on top?
They get a nerf and they go from first down to lower first.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to sell some miniatures. Well, they got
not working. Do a new aspect warrior, and then maybe I'll go. No, not just play me a G-dubs.
That's crazy, though, isn't it? How long have we had the detachments? 4 weeks.
I thought Orcs and Necrons are the most popular at the moment, aren't they? You're seeing more Orcs and Necrons.
I know Orcs were doing well. I don't know where they were. I haven't really looked at the meta stuff, but they were doing well, and they were doing well with Bully Boys and the Green Tide. The Green Tide one doesn't bother us. I mean, it does bother us because I was just thinking I'm going to make loads of boys and like have a little green. I want to do a list for everything really, and I was looking forward to just doing loads of kid bashing loads of little individual Orc boys. But it's like, oh, well done enough for. The Mega Nobs one, I think, does suck because it affects. I can understand when they run Bully Boys in the tournament scene, and then this, if you've got 3 big mobs of Mega Nobs, running around with a 4-up invul and a toughness 6 and a 4-up fuel pain for 2 turns of the game and all all the rest of it. It's quite impressive. But that's one of those rules that trickles down to your speed war, which has a truck with a few Mega Nobs in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You'll have Mega Nobs in other builds, other lists, other detachments. That's going to affect them in all. It's going to affect them the same way. Not as much with the 2-turn war, but it will affect them all in any build. Whereas the boy stuff is just for the Green Tide detachment. So
if they'd have brought out
and
the Mega Nobs,
the points changes to pain boys now as well.
If they'd have done the Mega Nobs like the Bully Boys, if they'd have just done that detachment with a 5-up invuln or the 5-up feel no pain from the off, no one would have batted an eyelid. Why the fuck do it as a 4+ to start and then 4 weeks later change it so all the printed stuff's all out of date straight away? It's just a bit stupid, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? It's just
I know there was a lot of factions had like a 4-up feel no pain somewhere, on a certain troop. I don't know if that's just been sort of squashed across the board and they've all dropped to a 5-up. I'm sure somebody in chat will know. And they'll be able to say if it has, or if there's still other factions with lots of 4-up feel no pains scattered about.
Well, historically, and it seems to be the case now just as much. Now, I know GW mess about and change things a lot, but we always end up being the ones that are having just had a codex released before things change and stuff like that. We're always the ones that have like the least opportunity to use our thing before it then gets nerfed. It tends to always be the way of Orcs. Like you get a new codex and then new edition, and then you're holding on to that codex throughout.
It definitely feels that way. I don't know if it is that way because I think there's a lot of other factions out there that get exactly the same get the same treatment. And some of them, I think, wasn't it the Votann book came out, and it was sort of like, there's your book, there's your receipt, there's your penny change, and don't forget to download those updates when you get home. Hurry now, before there's more. It's
they're new to the party, though.
The updates, the FAQs for that codex.
Make them join the fucking queue. We've been here waiting longer.
Just fucking sit on it for a bit.
But then the Guard Codex came out, and didn't they have like 3 weeks of the last edition with the new Guard Codex?
Yeah.
They got the Codex, got their Codex, and then they changed editions. And it was index, wasn't it? Like
it was boring.
For like a month.
Got an index.
Yeah, they had the Codex for a month. Or something ridiculous.
What do you mean index? My codex still creaks when I open it.
It's not broken in yet.
You're talking about index.
Fucking that was a bit.
I mean, and then this is the problem. This is why I'm not pushed to buy the current rule book or the current codex. I'm like this. They don't retain value for me. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, they don't.
I don't see the point.
They don't.
Personally, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I've bought them, and I bought it, and I did hum and haw over getting it. Because I knew it would be out of date, and I knew even if it was in date, if it was totally up to date, it would be kind of left on a shelf because everything I need to know from it, I'd have on a card. Or more likely, because even the cards go out of date, to be fair.
Yeah.
I've got an app, and by an app I just mean the internet. Whether I'm using the GW app, which I'm not normally, or whatever, Battlescribe. I mean, I still use Wikipedia. No, I don't. Do I? Is that the Russian one?
Yeah, Wikipedia.
Yeah, the one that's just got everything in.
Everything.
Yeah. Factions, orcs, data sheet, boom, there you go. It's got everything.
Legends units. Oh, they're there as well.
Now all the legends are there and all the rest of it. Just for quickly finding something. I've heard lots of good things about the GW app. How it's actually pretty good. Outside.
They miss a trick. They miss a trick though with no legends units in that. So you get the app, you can build your list, but not if you're playing legends. It's like, come on, guys.
Well, that's
what. That one you sent me, Sid, is good as well. What's
New Recruit.
New recruit, yeah.
It's fantastic to write a list on. It's really good, but it's I don't think they've got like a mobile version. Although you can write it on your PC and print it out, and it prints.
Yeah, but even on your phone, I've only used it on my phone.
Yeah, you can just have a PDF on your phone. Yeah. It's what I like about it is at the end of your list, it gives you these little tables that have got all your units, just the units you've picked,
stats
with their pertinent stats for your phase, with all
the shooty bits, all the melee bits together.
Phase, all your toughnesses and armor saves and wounds and fuel paint, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
All your weapon profiles, and it's got everything sort of like broken down. So like, it's your turn, right? I've got my sheet, everything I need's on there. It's quite cool for stuff like that, and it's dead easy to build armies with as well.
I mean, I'm still going to use it to then write out my own thing for me to be able to read these, just because it's just how I prefer it. But
yeah, well, it's nice to use all that glitter you bought.
It's the coloured pens. It's the coloured pens.
And all that print stick.
For me, it's so much easier to read if I've written it myself.
Orcs written on the top in lentils and Pritt stick. Just split peas and
gold star on the top.
Printed word, unless it's been particularly like formatted like they do inside of the rule books. But even then, I do find that a lot of the time all the words just get lost amongst themselves, and I'll just get this thing where I stop being able to read and just everything sort of blurs together. Whereas if I've written it myself, it's got weird deformities and nothing really is quite just by act of it all being individual, it's sort of easier to sort of
read. So it makes sense to you individually. That's the important thing, isn't it? So you can make sense of it
but
at a glance. That's important.
The uniformity of the text is what knocks you, isn't it? Where all the words get mixed together because they're all the same format, the same font, the same size.
Yeah. I can read like any word. I don't struggle with any word. It's just that after a while of looking at text, it just all blends, and I stop being able to read it because it all looks the same, and I'm like, oh, jeez.
The only time I can see that. Oh, sorry, mate.
No, that's all right.
I was just going to say the only time I can see that being an issue is because of GW's unique style of writing, their rules and what have you. It's all very much every word that's in there is taken into account. It's not like to make it simple, but it says if it does not ever never do this, then on a 4-up, if this it's quite sort of like rules lawyery the way it's written. Like you might look at your interpretation of the Warboss 4 attacks in the war and just going during the war gets extra 4 attacks, which is simple
what it is
the way I think it should be.
Yeah,
but
exactly. They're details on a parking fine, isn't it?
When you say that's the key word, when, and then there's another rule where it doesn't mention when, so that's fine. It's a bit hard. But when you write out a rule, much like revising, when you tests or exams or stuff, you write it out and it helps you remember it anyway, just by
committing it to paper. It does. Yeah.
As opposed
to I do the same with my Blood Bowl rules. I have cheat sheets.
The little mistakes in the way that like sometimes my sixes don't, sometimes they look like Bs and sometimes they're overly exaggerated with the curve in them, so just the fact that sometimes each thing looks a bit different, the fact it looks a bit obscure to my eye sort of drags me to it, and just, I don't know, makes it easy to read, just the fact that nothing's quite uniform.
Yeah. Well, if your sixes look like bees and your sevens look like wasps, then you're in a hiding and out, aren't you? So that was for Dim.
That was for Dim.
Oh, tits.
I do the same for my Blood Bowl stuff, though. I screenshot all the individual rules out of the book, and then I stick them in a photo editing app, and then I just put all the rules that are pertinent to my team all on one A4 sheet. And then I've got all the rules, boom, 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 boom. And otherwise, you're flicking through the book constantly. So I make like a data card just for my Blood Bowl team. I just find it so much easier then to play the game. Otherwise, you're like flicking through you spend like half the game just looking through hang on a minute, what does that do? Can you do that in that? Yeah, it's just too much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm sitting there on a computer, I can do the same sort of thing. It's just a case of, like bold and underlining and, giving proper headers and stuff like that. So, it's easier to read. I'm someone that likes bullet points and, organised, structured sort of, if you're gonna, give information like that over that you're trying to sort of absorb that's boring, you need to be able to sort of like look at it and look at it again without getting lost,
And some of the guys that I was chatting to at my local game club, they were saying about the old world stuff, the new old world book. And it's like they've got rules, but then they're affected by another rule, which is 20 pages back in the book. Then you have to flick forward, and that rule is also affected by another rule, which is 30 pages forward. It's like, oh my God.
Quite going back 20 years, isn't it? Jesus.
Oh, it's too much. That does it for me. I couldn't be doing with that.
Yeah, that was one of the things they used to fail on quite bad on, the main game, which they don't do that so much anymore. They've got better at that. But yeah, they used to do that quite a bit.
You got to flick back to find out how this affects this and that affects that. And
I used to love that with the codex, where you fucking like be building your fucking miniature in one section, and then you're having to look in another section to work out the points. So in the middle where the unit card's sort of in between, and then you've got the fucking points in the back. Cut the fingers in pages as you're going through, trying to work out whether you can do something or not.
Okay, this one's for war gear, that's the unit, and then this is the bleeding force org thing.
Yeah, So some things, as much as we do like to moan and say that things were better, like there were some things that was, a right pain in the hole.
I did used to like that though, writing down your list and then getting the points, and then you get them all committed to memory after a while, wouldn't you? No, Power Claw was always 5 points. No,
what was it? 6 points for boys. Mob of 30 was what? 180 knob was a 10-point increase. Power Claw was 25 points. You know what I mean?
Back in the day.
Shooter was free. Back when you can give your knob
because
shooters.
Things change so much, it's sort of not worth your while, and it almost like it's known that people will say, well, they've changed so much, so I don't bother to learn it. So that's perfectly acceptable now. And it was always fine to not know, but sort of knowing meant that obviously you've been doing this for a little while. So you couldn't be like respectable in the game and not know these things. You know what I mean? So you sort of like it was like a graduation. It's like it's going up a level once you get to know like the ins and outs of your army. Whereas you can't do that now, and it does detach you slightly from it.
You can do it, but you've got to invest yourself so fully to do it, haven't you?
Well, that's the thing, though. That's what the hobby is now. It wants to be everything. It doesn't just want to be one of the war games that you play. It wants to be your hobby. It wants to be your only hobby. So it doesn't want you to have any other hobbies. It's what I call the whirlpool of engagement, in that it catches you, and drags you in and tries to suck you down. Yeah. That's what it does. And it changes so often now. That's why it changes so often, because it wants you to be constantly engaged. They got rid of the universal special rules and they put all these rules out into the codexes, because if you want to play competitively, not only do you need to own and know your codex, you need to know all the other codexes. So the constant changes means that your constant knowledge base is shifting all the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's a bit crazy. I mean, I realised this with the league. I realised I know very little about current 40k now because it's changed so much. You know.
I think a lot of it though is when I was young, I didn't mind so much, but it was like lots of things. Like I hate now being out of focus. But
there you are, the drunken orc. You just look drunk for me.
As long as I'm out of focus,
the more he drinks, the more out of focus it gets.
We know you all have your own special filters here. That is, you can get the wool over their eyes.
I've got the old Star Trek romance filter on, bit of Vars on the lens. Not just the lens, am I right? But there's a lot of things which I didn't mind or preferred when I was younger that now I just haven't got time for. If I went to see a film at the pictures when I was younger and it was an hour and a half long, I'd be like, what's this bullshit? Hour and a half? Fuck that. If it was 3 hours long, I'd be going, oh, where's me money right there? That's me money. That's value, that is. Whereas new, it's like, oh, it's 2 hours, man. What the hell? Just, I want to go home. I've got a good book on. I want to just sit down. So I think certain things in the hobby, which I didn't used to mind, I'm not going to say I loved carrying multiple books, places and all that sort of stuff, but I don't like it more now. I think I'm older. Maybe I'm grumpy.
As a kid,
I have less time left.
You've got less time. That's the thing. Time's more precious the older you get. I
Do you
think.
remember that feeling though as a kid?
You know
when you learn, like, well, basically someone introduces you to something, like, I mean, I think the first time, like I say, when I went round and saw a mate's Eldar army, and I didn't know what it was or anything, but I was just like, oh, you know, I loved toy soldiers, and I had loads of those fucking like regular toy soldiers, and I had like army men, and I had fucking loads of Lego, and I've been making my own sort of war game with them for years, and then I walk into this guy's room and he's got an army, hand painted, laid out, looking really cool on his shelf, and I'm just like, what's that? You know? And he's, oh well, this is this, and what these do is this, and what they like. Being that person to introduce someone to something, and then when you go away, you learn something about it, and you like. So then, the knowledge that you can hold becomes valuable, because then the next person you're telling about, you can like, oh yeah, and it says, and they can ask you a question. You go, oh well, see, these are like they've got 7 wounds, and that only got 2. So like, you know, you want to throw a couple of those fellas in there because otherwise you won't stand a chance. But you know, like, you could know all the things and retain that information and sort of like continue to build on what you know, whereas now, because it changes so quick, not just the codex, you know, it doesn't last for 5 years, it, you know, it's a year or 2 at the most, but
well, 5 weeks,
everything gets errated and changed within that regularly enough that you just it's hard to, like, even if I've got a friend now that comes into it, like I have a friend that came into it recently, only like 6 months ago, and I think within 6 weeks he was more up to date on everything than me, you know. So it's not like I could really teach him or tell him anything, because fuck me, you know, watch a couple of YouTube videos and you're more up to date than me already, you know.
yeah.
I think that's where it's detrimental being in the hobby longer, because the problem that you have then is, especially with older editions that lasted longer, you have, think about it this way, 40k hasn't been one game. 40k has been a series of different war games under the same brand.
Games.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that now.
The problem you have with being in the hobby for so long is you may end up like me, where you think the game plays one way, and then you drop in and you're 2 editions later and it plays totally differently, like
completely different. Yeah.
So that's.
But you think the last time you played a lot, Scar, that was 5 editions ago.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean? 5 editions ago.
Yeah, I played a lot of 5th edition. I barely played 6 because I thought it was crap. I played a good bit of 7th, but I wasn't too happy with it. Barely played 8th. I played 1 game in 9th. That was the mega battle with you lads, and then the only time I've played 10th was the league. So that'll tell you how much it's dropped off.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It is. It's mad.
Yeah. But that's where it comes in, like with little groups like us. It's like, don't worry about the erratas and all that shit. Just play what's in the codex and what's on your cards, isn't it? You've got it in front of you. That's it. Just play that. When you're in a small group like us, you just if you're just playing, just play what's in the book.
I've heard a lot of people saying that recently, mind, watching a few podcasts and that, where they've been talking about stuff and saying, well, you know, you need to know all the updates and FAQs and the latest version that if you're playing on the tournament scene.
Yeah.
Because the easiest thing is, well, I suppose the easiest thing, other than let's just play what's in the book, is let's just play the latest update. Anywhere in the middle is going to get confusing and muddy.
Yeah.
But nothing's stopping you from just sticking to what's in the books and the original
codex. What's printed, that's it. But
your mate is also playing the same way. So, yeah, I can see that.
I can see how that's easier for us because we're all playing the same army. I could understand how there'd be difficulty if people were playing different armies.
Yeah, if new codexes come out and are a bit overpowered maybe, and that's why they've been knocked down a peg or so, or other ones have been given a lift. If you're all
that was always the
game,
case in the past, wasn't it? That was always the case. That was some of the gripes from before. That's why they've maybe part of the reason they've gone to the model they have now is because everyone used to moan, "Oh, my codex hasn't been updated for 2 editions and it's weak compared to all the new ones." So yeah, you can't bloody win, can you? No. If you keep updating it, it's just
I mean, if you update the codexes or rule books so that they refine the rules instead of hard resetting them all the time, I think you'd be onto a bit more of a winner. I think that's why I like BattleTech so much, is because someone who played BattleTech in the 80s can come back to the game now, and they have a rough idea of what's going on. Now, obviously, there's been refinements and changes and stuff like that. But, like, literally in the Games Club about 2 weeks ago, we had a lad who hadn't played BattleTech since the 90s. And as I'm going through I'm like, join in here, look, take one of me mechs, join into the game. And as we're going through the game, we're literally just knocking the rust off the cogs for him. You know what I mean? He's like, oh yeah, remember this. And this was a thing. That's still the same. And that as well, that's still the same. What about this rule? Right, that's slightly changed, but it's kind of similar. You know what I mean? You've got a learning curve anytime you're playing a war game. And what you want is you want to be able to bank that learning curve. You want to be able to have a point of reference that you save against. But again, this is part and parcel of the whirlpool of engagement that I keep talking about.
It's also harder as well when you've got many different factions that are supposed to be unique and so individual and different that nothing's ever the same, is it? You introduce a new faction, you've got to make them stand out, be a little different,
be unique. But it's even with the existing factions. I find, like with orcs, they keep chopping and changing what orcs are. It's like
what their strength is,
what their strength is. You know what I mean? I keep finding, they keep changing orcs and deciding, well, they're all about being a mono clan. No, actually, no, they're not about clans. They're about this, and you know what I mean. They're fighty orcs, or no, they're shooty orcs. You know,
they're horde orcs.
Or they're horde orcs, or they're not horde. Like they don't know what to do with orcs. To be honest with you, I think that's the problem.
They're five factions in one, aren't they? Really, they're shooty, they're fighty, they're hordes, they're mechanized. No, do you know what I mean?
Because they were,
which is cool.
Because they're such an old army, and they came out right at the beginning of things. They were basically whatever the Imperium had, they had a counter to. So whatever comes in the box for the Space Marines, then you've got to have a counter, a NAFA version for the Orcs.
Yeah,
that's how that's come about.
Yeah, it is.
But that's what I love about them. That's what I love about them. They are literally like, they've got everything. They've got so much variety and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
and they are the underdog. That's what I love, No, they've got effectively the same stuff. They're just not as good, but you wouldn't fucking dare tell them, because as far as they're concerned, they're way better than you.
I did see a wild Steve-O in the chat just a minute ago as well.
I've been while we've been chatting, I've been sort of laying out my sort of beast snaggers. I say beast snaggers loosely because I'm not calling them that. But my feral Scar boys, and there's a mix up of different bits and bobs that I've put together. I have used the actual beast snaggers boys, but mixed them in and with some other bits. I'm sort of putting them together with some other bits and bobs. But I've also, because I'm trying to put all the feral stuff together, I've managed to get my gargantuan squig-off head. I mean, compared to my head, it's pretty small, but like compared to like, let's put him next to a squig hog boy. You know, it's massive.
I'd say Dred's got quite a small head, actually. It's just the hat that makes it look big.
It's just a big mouth attached to it. Is that what it is?
But yeah, I've got to do a body for it. So, like, basically, I sent it away a long while ago for it to be cast. But basically, to cast it is going to be such a ball ache, and it will never be the same again if it does. So, I thought, do you know what? It's a unique thing. Fuck it. I'm going to just make it into something myself. But I'm wondering whether to go, like, take a look at the thing, whether to go full sort of typical squig hog, squig sort of dinosaur shape, or whether to have more of a sort of like a pit bull sort of with its feet down at the like in a sitting sort of almost ready to sort of like jump at you sort of.
I think a gorilla kind of stance might be quite good.
Yeah, I want to have a stance that is slightly different to the norm, the sort of the dinosaur sort of too cumbersome and big and stumpy. I want it to be a bit more sort of, you know, you can actually get fucking stuck in, and you know, you'd be bounding across to what you're fucking hell, rather than some slow meandering, send some rockets at it and blow it up. Fuck me, that thing coming at us like a Rottweiler would be much more pit bull or whatever.
I do like the idea more like a dog shape, but like all, you know, massive forequarters.
Yeah,
tapering to a little narrow.
Well, I'm thinking as well is like if it's got a howdah that like the howdah's there, but it's sort of tipped a bit, and so there'd be a few sort of like, you know, falling back and stuff on the howdah.
When you said sort of sat back, I did think of once like literally sitting the howdah like that and just load of forks hanging on the back. In the arse was
I mean, it's a mind unto itself. I mean, look at the thing. I mean, it's fucking such a. There's no way that's coming at you slow. That's just fucking bounding across the fucking battlefield. That's what I want to have, you know. So either that or fucking leaping, but then that'd be a bit dodge.
Yeah, leaping might look a bit.
Yeah.
Still like a serpentine kind of body. Something a bit longer and thinner might be quite cool.
Well, like some kind of snake.
Yeah.
Or a big worm.
A big worm, yeah. That might be quite cool.
Slow Loris Squigot.
like the Lambton worm. That's the Lambton worm, if you are wondering.
I think if it's an orkoidy kind of thing, though, the big hench, bulldog kind of gorilla.
Yeah, and also because it would be kind of froggy, and some of the sort of the way that Cruiser did the skin, the green stuff over the grey stuff, it is kind of a little bit froggy too. So yeah, I think
like a giant
sort of
toad.
Like that ability to sort of leap and bound is sort of suggested to me.
That'd be quite cool, like a giant toad.
Yeah, and then that'll be my project for the year because I get so stuck into that. That's all I'll do. I've been eyeballing. I've been going in loads of toy shops and B&M and places like that, and TK Maxx and any of those sorts of places that have got like weird and wonderful toys that are being gotten rid of, because just looking for something to work from, you know, as a basic shape.
Every time I go in, mate, I do the same. I'm always those. Shit. Too shit.
Yeah,
I'm not something that's going to require.
BC's just said in the chat. He's just said like a Chinese dragon with loads of boys underneath it. That does sound pretty cool. Do you know what I mean? That could be pretty cool.
Or make it easy. Killa Konviktz like underneath just to get the size right. You don't need about 8.
That sounds so cool. Though. A whole mob of boys underneath it just carrying it across the battlefield.
Yeah, boss, it'll make it look like a big squig. It's a big squig. Sharp. You know.
It was a big squig till you bloody killed it.
I'll make my own data card for it, I think.
Yeah.
Why not, yeah?
Movement, no.
Down with that sort of thing.
Hangout says can fly because it's so big and it can jump across.
I mean, that's a conversion I'd love to do, like a Stone Boy Stomper. You know what I mean? You'd have to do your own data card for that. for the shits and giggles.
Oh, that's an awesome idea.
It's a great idea.
What, rocket propelled stomper.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Can you imagine that?
I mean, do you know what?
No.
What's he doing?
There's a
No.
green screen. There's a
It's
green
disappeared.
screen.
No.
Hold it in front of it. No,
It's gone.
it's gone. Whoa! It's a bloody blood stomper.
Oh.
Now, Scar, just ahead.
It's a bleeding box. It's one of them mech boxes. Right?
Put the box.
No, it's not.
There.
You're lying. There's nothing there. Hey, there you go. Oh, no, it's gone again. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh.
There you go. Look.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, we're here.
So Scar's bought a cloak and
You'd have
fuel.
to have. You'd have to like really something with the feet whereby obviously it can take the impact.
No.
So I'd have to have like spring
know
loaded.
what?
I've
I would
already
just-
thought
I
of
would-
this. I've got this planned out, right?
I would
It's-
sack the feet off and just do a massive smoke plume underneath it.
Yeah.
So the shape of it itself is a
Right.
vast rocket.
So
And just have it up and on an angle.
giant smoke plume
Alright.
like so, yeah, right. You know that terrain piece where it's like the galvanic servo haulers and all of them, but it's the bigger
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah.
Have that as the giant rocket booster, right? Get a Dakar jet and just fucking saw it in half and have it either side. So it would have little winglets and the little boosters coming off. So they're the rocket boosters, right? And then for the feet, remove the feet and give it like giant power claw sort of talons, and just away you go. There's no, you know what I mean? That's what I do.
Like a giant,
be
like
very
Zag
cool.
Strucks.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Think of like
effigy
Zag
kind of
Struck
thing.
Stomper
Yeah.
style. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
even
that'd
be
underneath
so
it.
cool.
Nice.
Do you know the way the whole underneath of it is flat? You could put like a couple of ball turrets or whatever, you know, off of the fighter
Yeah,
jet
yeah.
underneath
Yeah,
so that they're
nice.
shooting down. You could do
Yeah.
interesting stuff like that. That'd be
That'd
cool.
be so cool.
I've
Yeah, I've
tabled
got-
my
I've-
stomper for the time being. It's still sat behind us. These
Yeah, I
big
want
red-
to get stuck into a big. I really want to get stuck
Well,
into big projects.
I don't know if I
like
showed you. I've got some of these.
Oh, you were showing us the last time the
I've
shin
showed you
guards. You
the
got the
machine
Aquillas
guards,
off.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've cut them off, so I need to get them on next, and I need to give it some sort of whittly gun.
A wang cannon, like the
But I've
gargants of
wang
old.
cannon.
But you know the Super Gatler. I've got a Super Gatler, but I've only got one drum magazine.
Oh, double drum, like from dusk till dawn.
Yeah, but I've only got one drum magazine, so he looks like he's lopsided at the minute. So I'm
Must be
fit.
lost in that.
I'm not paying £18, which by the way is what eBay wants for a drum magazine for a stomper. So I might just
Why
cut
don't we have
the
a spare
drum
one?
magazine off in half it, and then just use
Yeah,
them as two front bits,
extend it,
and then like
yeah,
just
yeah.
cobble up a little bit more length, and on the back of it, I'll probably end up doing that. Because I've mounted a little orc behind it in a shooting seat, like it was off the back of the
Is it just
the
the
Gorgon
drum
orc.
mag you're looking for, Sid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have a spare one of them knocking around. Let me
Ooh.
let me have a look. I'd be willing to sacrifice one to that conversion cause, I tell you.
That would be class. That.
that.
Yeah, if you have got a spare one.
Yeah.
There's a bit site I use that had them for £4, but I missed the boat.
No,
And then
no,
eBay's
it's-
wanting like.
Well, I've acquired a
80.
new stopper set, so I'm sure I can sacrifice one of them.
If you've got a spare one, that would be absolutely outstanding.
Mm.
Because it's important to be right. I know because my testicles personally are a little bit strange. One of them is a lot smaller than the other two. So not really. All three are massive. Right?
But that'd be class. Like, I'd like to see a mega battle where we all bring like a super heavy. So if we all had like a Stompy each, or a Gargantuan Squigot, or like a Skullhammer Battle Fortress, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something interesting. That'd be cool looking.
Yeah, I'm really feeling like that if I want to do something. Well, I've been stuck. I think part of the having no hobby mojo has been like outside things, but part of it's also that everything I've done is sort of almost done, but not fully done, and it's getting those last finishing bits so I can actually go, they're done, and put them aside to then justify moving on to something else, which is what I really want to do. So I'm feeling bad about like not finishing to move on, and I just want to move on. So it's killing my joy a little. But I really do like just talking with you guys makes me excited about the prospect of like finishing Squig off or building Baneblade and making massive Skullhammer, because I've still got
Yeah, that'd
a
be nice.
Baneblade.
I
I've
want
gotta
to
do a
get
Battle
another Baneblade
Fortress.
kit. I want to get another. I want to get a Baneblade because I want to build a tank I can use with orcs. But I want to just in friendly games. And I'll basically just say, look, it's this god tank. But
don't even do this guy tank. We can, see back in the day
you could
when
do
we
a
used
data
to do
sheet.
the WAF
It's
forum,
basically for a data sheet.
We had a custom crawler created that one of the lads made. So we literally just made our own custom tanks. So I think we should do something like that, an update where it's because you end up with these lovingly things, these multi-turreted monstrosities is what I used to call them, where it's like the upper part of the fucking Baneblade is the turret, and it's got like triple barrels, and it's got guns out the wazoo. You know, just go fucking nuts,
we should make your own orc tank data card, like build your own.
Yeah, don't even count as like. Cause come on, when are you gonna field it? When you're playing against
the reason I wanted to do that was because I've been looking recently at other factions and some of their weapons and that, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, this is fucking brilliant. This is really good.
I know.
Why have we got nothing like this? And there's a Bane blade build. I think it's a Bane sword, and it's got an earthquake cannon, and it's got a special rule called armor obliteration. And when you shoot a vehicle, when you destroy a vehicle with it, it explodes on a 3-up. On a 6 on a 3. That's mint.
Yeah, that's cool.
We all want explosions.
Yeah.
And I think if there's weapons out there, there's actually a rule, which is official, which is written to blow things up on a 3.
I mean, like, there's nothing stopping us from doing like a big battle and just saying that straight off. Like we used to do that in the Apocalypse battles. You remember back in the old editions where when something blew up, there'd be a wreck or whatever, or something was destroyed, it was a wreck. So we just like, right, this is gonna make the game difficult for all the stuff because it'll get in the way. So we just straight up the bat, we're like, everything explodes and there's nothing left, and it worked. You know what I mean? It was fun and it worked and there was nothing in the way. Like, so there's nothing stopping us from doing that. Like, you know what I mean? But big battles, big fucking stoppers and shit,
The problem, I see the problem. It's not a problem, but the big battle that we had about a few years ago now, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
2.5 years ago, or whatever. That was great, but it was a big battle. But then we each rocked up with 1,500 points. And if it was a truly big battle, I'd want a stomper.
Yeah.
And you know the big tanks and all that, whereas you could just field a 1,500 point army, which is medium sized. It's medium.
Yeah, but you can still do
small, but it's not like even standard. It's just
if you do 3,000 points each, you can still do that in a way where you haven't actually got that much more than if you had 1,500. Because if you do take a couple of big things,
Titanics and that,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, this is what we used to do. Is you do like your 2,000, 2,500 or whatever, or 3K, and then you'd say maximum 1 Titanic unit per player. And then the idea being is your big bad's going to fight against the other guy's big bad, and then your armies are going to fight in and around at the same time. Yeah. And it works out. Whereas if people who you're playing against don't have those big units, the game suffers for it. But it can be done. I've done it previously. If you do it right, you end up with these big duels happening, these big clashes, and then the battles raging around them as well. It looks mint, mate. That's when 40k is at its best in my eyes. You could
easily up 1,500s, like you say, to 3,000 if that 1,500 extra points was a couple of stoppers or a stomper. If it was. Oh, I brought another 300 boys.
Well, I mean, like we've all got 1,000 point army. Like we've already all got 1,000 point army. Like how many points is a stomper now?
800.
So there you go. Me slapping on a Stormboy Stomper would be 800 points. I'd only need another 700, and it's 2,500. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
How many more plane tickets would you need to buy?
Oh Jesus! I think I'd have to get the ferry over, get the card and the ferry over at that stage. Just the roof box and everything.
I can see. Just bring it. I used it as carry-on, taking the bottom off, and all your underpants and socks are inside it and stuff.
The right arms of deodorant,
wash bag and
bottle
everything.
There's a razor in the head.
Yeah. Flip flops, the whole shebang. House slippers for loafing around. You know.
That
And the surprise is
like
the slow gin in the back.
Does it?
Do you know what I'm laughing about?
Big chopper toothbrush.
I still haven't unpacked my army. It's still in the bleeding case, like since the event.
Yeah, mine is.
I haven't played a game. Like I haven't had a need to take them out. Like
I took my 1,500 point list to the local gaming club. I thought, I'm going to get involved with the local gaming club. Go down there, playing Legends, and I got absolutely fucking stomped. It was horrible. Fuck me. Oh God, it was just turn 3. My whole army was dead. It was just like, and I killed like two models. And he was gutted that I killed.
I have no idea what that's like. Oh.
Fucking hell.
Since we played, so much has changed already that, like, literally, you have to be learning again.
Yeah.
It was because he was using the new formations, and he was using the Dreadwar, and he had a Morkanaut. He had a Morkanaut.
Were you playing Orcs as well? Like
against Orcs, I mean. Against Orcs, but he was using the Dreadwar, and it was just like, fuck me.
Were you using the Speedwar? Were you?
I used the Speedwar. Yeah.
I know the Speedwar's not. I think it was since pre-nerfs. Bully Boys and Green Tide appear to be at the top. I would have thought the Big Hunt, the Beast Snaggers one would be
what did you call
bottom. I think that'll be at the bottom. But I don't know where Dreadwar. I know Dreadwar. I think the Dreadwar is really good, but I can see it in competitive.
Oh, you say that, but then have you seen our Stevo playing against Nick?
No,
This is it.
You're going to enjoy it. I won't spoil it.
If the dice go with you, it's too swingy. You might as well go right tournament game. Heads or tails. Right, you've won. That's it. It's almost just like a coin flip as to whether or not lots of coin flips, to be fair. If you're going to win or not. If you get your good rolls, it'll be devastating. If you don't, they won't even have to fucking get their guns with bubble wrap because you'll just blow yourself up anyway. I don't know where the Speedwar actually ranks in that. I still think the called the Warhorde is decent. I think exploding the sixes in combat for everything is pretty.
I thought it was class.
Nice. And a lot of the originals.
After I played that game, I thought I would have been better off playing my army as I did at the meet. If I'd have used the War Tribe or whatever they called it now, I think it would have performed better than using the Speedwar.
Why change the name? That's like what?
Yeah, I know.
What are you smoking, lads?
Warhorde. I mean, it doesn't wrong with Warhorde, but why get rid of War Tribe when it was mint?
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a good name.
It's grand. But just stick to it. Like if it's an existing formation that's already established, just stick to the name. You know what I mean? Because people are gonna call it that. You know.
Yeah. But I've been doing it as well, Clint, looking at sort of local groups and that, thinking, I'll try and sort of like reach out. I only found out was a northeast opens on next month. It's all sold out, like because it's obviously quite popular. There's 110 people going. I don't know if that's big or not.
That's pretty big.
That seems quite big. Yeah,
sizable.
But it is all obviously it's an open, so it's tournament play.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can. I don't think I'm that into.
I can't do it. I'm on their group chat. I'm on the group chat, the Facebook group chat for this, and it's very, very tournament focused. And they're like tweaking their list, and they've got a team, and they're trying to go for the thing, and it's just like, oh god, it's too.
Oh, they're bowling shorts, are they?
Yeah, not quite that bad, but they just don't care about the models at all. They're like 3D printing stuff. They're getting this. Oh yeah, I'm proxying this week because I'm testing out for this list, and it's all very, very ultra competitive. Do you know what I mean? The most efficient use of points, and it's just. I went there and the nice bunch of lads. I had a good crack, and they're friendly enough, and they were nice, but the format of the games just wasn't for me. It was just like I've turned up with my. What I think to really nicely converted and painted army, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that looks nice." Right, I'm gonna fucking wipe the floor. They just didn't really give a shit about the modelling. Do you know what I mean? At all. It's just like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah." yeah, what does it do though? What's the stats? What's the stats? What's the stats?
Yeah.
What's the, you know? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really give a fuck, mate. Honestly, I'm just here for a few
I'm here to have a laugh. A laugh?
Yeah. But...
What?
Ooh, we only laugh when we win.
What's this laugh you speak of?
Only laugh when you were
If
crying.
I don't win, I'm going home. Yeah, it is. Oh, it did almost feel a bit like that. It was that faint, you know, that false. Oh, I'm really sorry. Oh, this is devastating for you, isn't it? Like, fuck off, you cunt.
See it.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to launch my
devastating
pint in your face in a minute, you prick.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, just.
Fear you got it. Say it. Go on. I'm nearly there. Say it.
On your board like they're putting out.
But on the plus side, I played Blood Bowl the week before at the club with a guy, and I had a fucking brilliant. I did lose by a last turn touchdown, but I had a fucking brilliant time, and that was a really good crack. That was just, you know, it was just like down to the dice rolls, and it was just, and that was brilliant. But the 40k experience was a bit soul destroying. I'll be honest. Yeah, it wasn't really
I'm still
not really in my wheelhouse, you know.
I'm gutted me and Dame didn't record the Blood Bowl game we had after the Warboss meet. It was fucking hilarious.
God, I'd have liked to have seen that.
Oh, you would have loved it. You would have absolutely loved it. Because he gave me the dice, and any time I was rolling for armor, it was like 11, 12, 10.
I don't think I would have enjoyed it. It sounds like a fucking advert for the RSPCA. You know, some little fucking. I've had enough, please.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, the next time I play Blood Bowl, I guarantee you I'll get fucking annihilated.
Oh, but you was playing it on easy mode. You was playing Orcs, so you was playing it on easy mode.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He's a little bit. Orcs are a bit of a bashy team. Yeah.
Well, that's how I like to play. I like to kick things in.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is the thing with Blood Bowl. It'll go really, really well for you, and you'll be like, "Oh, I love playing this," and then you go and play your next match, and you get hockeyed, and you're like, "Why do we even like this game?" And that's
what I like about it, because it's a short, quick game. You can have 2 games in one evening. Do you know what I mean? That's what I quite like. Do you know what I mean? So if you do get your ass kicked.
I still need to go down and visit that store that I went to and played the guy because I asked him to buy a gnomes team for me, and also some I can't remember what they are now. Some humans that I wanted to use for diggers, getting what they're called now.
I have actually dug up and stashed away. I have me dice, I have me orc team. They're all here for the next time, so I'll be ready to rock and roll, boys. Don't worry.
I'm up for getting them gnomes. I think that'd be a nice sort of distraction. Like I said, I want to do them up as leprechauns.
Yeah.
You, Jesus.
All standing on little pots of gold, yeah. Rainbows coming out their arses. All the grass, all the bases are covered in 4-leaf clovers. No.
Shamrocks.
Sorry.
They're all what? They're all running around with their McDonald's Shamrock shakes, is it? This very, very St. Patrick's Day themed.
Green Guinness and all that.
The big Guinness hats on. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, don't laugh. I used to have one of them. Great crack. I tell you, the ladies love it.
Yeah, actually, Paddy's Day, like I used to have a collection. I had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different weird and wacky Paddy's Day hats that me and Simon, when we used to go out, we often, you know, people would discard these things at the end of the night, especially tourists and stuff, and we just collect them up and take them back to our place. We had like loads of stuff like that, and so I kept loads of them. So whenever it was like Paddy's Day, it'd always be a case of like, if I had friends over, it's like, okay, so what hat do you want? What hat? Oh, I'm going to take the big tall hat, and I had the big like fucking tall hat, or you know, all the different ones there was. It's well good fun. I love putting on silly hats. Love it. Oh! I'm going to a pirate party or mini festival in a couple of weeks' time. A little private party, like a rave. But you have to dress up as a pirate. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to that. I don't care. I'm definitely going there. Don't know anyone except for a couple of the DJs, but I'm well up for it.
Do it.
Dreadwab pirate onto a pirate party. Jesus, you'd be in your fucking element, you would.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I can't not go to that. That'd be a shame.
That sounds like good crack, man.
Couple of days in a field dressed as a pirate.
What are you going larping, are you?
It might as well be.
Captain should be heard. It's a shame we didn't still have your dreads, mate. You'd be a little Jack Sparrow.
I know.
You should get one of them Rasta hats that has the dreads woven into it, or whatever.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You know, it'd be like the
I
good
don't
old days.
know. You can't, mate. Not as an ex-dread where you can't wear fake one.
I know, yeah. Not them ones anyway.
I like Scar with a wig, you know what I mean? It's
there's not much going on here, so you can get away with anything, really.
I'd love to see Dread. I'd love to see Scar in a wig.
Just get the old fucking prick stick out and fucking mohawk. Yeah, no bother, lads.
Videos like you get on Instagram or in Facebook Shorts or whatever, where people are literally like taking a guy who's got like just a bit at the sides left or whatever, and they take him into a hair salon. And I saw one the other day where this guy goes up to someone and goes, "Here, look, mate, I want to pay for you to have a haircut and shave all your hair off." And he's like wearing a hat, and he's like, "Oh, you know, I'm not so interested." He offered him 300 quid. He's like, "All right, yeah." So they took him into hairdressers, and they just shaved the middle bit, and they left the sides. And he was like, "Oh, are you shitting me? What the fuck?" He goes, "No, all right. So here's the real thing. I've actually got like this. It's not a wig. They don't call it a wig because that's not a popular word.
New brand,
yeah, an implant or something like that." And he goes, "It's worth like 900 quid. If you let me stick this on your head, you'll love it. Honestly." He goes, "You can still keep the 300 quid, but honestly," he goes, "Go on, yeah, sure." So he stuck it on his head, and it looked fucking mint. To be fair, it did look. You wouldn't have known.
Embrace the bald. Embrace it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was recently during the Euros, there was one of the pundits was like commentating on, not commentating the match, but talking about the match at half time or after the game or whatever it was. And it was a fella called Landon Donovan. Used to play I can't remember if he played for, I think it was LA Galaxy he played for. It might have been at Miami, but I'm sure it was LA Galaxy. And he was on there and he had like a bit of a Jackie Charlton style sort of comb over. You know, if you think like, you know, the Hamlet Man and all that sort of stuff.
Rab C. Nesbitt.
It looked like he had big old mutton chops. There was a lot of hair at the front coming down here. And then it was like just shaved around there with like completely bald. Like down, it was a car crash. It was absolute. It was like, what the hell's going on with his hair? And apparently he'd done his TV bit, and one of his in Twitter just exploded over like, whoa, look at his hair, you know, what's going on here? And one of his mates had texted him saying, "Have you seen Twitter?" And he was like, "Oh, cheers, where were you 7 hours ago?" Apparently he was going through a hair transplant. He was in the process of getting like a hair transplant, and he said to the bloke who was doing it, "Look, I've got some punditry work to do on the TV for the Euros. Will they be able to tell on TV?" He goes, "It won't show on TV at all. It'll look completely normal." And obviously picked it up, and it's worth just typing in Landon Donovan Euros commentary or whatever just to see the clip of the hair. It's like you couldn't have sat down and done a worse haircut if you tried. It was horrible. I felt so sorry for the bloke. But he's also got millions and millions of pounds or dollars or whatever, so you know.
To get a hair transplant, yeah.
I got over it, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Jeez.
You want to get a hair transplant, fair play to you, you know what I mean?
I'm seeing images of it there, and it is shocking.
Oh, you just looked
Is it bad?
Yeah.
Is it bad? No.
There's bad, and then there's whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah, it's like it was described as sort of the way they described it: mutton chops with a Jackie Charlton comb over and Phil Foden's haircut on backwards. It was just the way it was described. It was just like, no. It's bad. But he thought it mustn't look like that in the flesh at the minute, but the TV's picked it up like, exactly as he didn't want it to. But he was told it. Oh, it'll be fine.
Be grand. Should you be grand?
I've been toying with the idea of dyeing my beard. It's getting a bit Father Christmas.
Oh, mate, just embrace the grey.
Have you been a good little boy?
Maybe.
Well, I've got to be honest. Right, years ago, I did use a bit on mine as well. I've got some. I've got some just for beards, or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Just for laughs. Huh?
just for beards.
I didn't want that. I'm alright. I'll just go whatever I'm going. And then one day I went, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna give it a go. Yeah.
I didn't. It was just like a little bit, just mixed a little bit up, put it in. No, it looks alright. And then a while later, I looked back at it and I was like, Jesus Christ! It just made it look like I looked like Brian Blessed. It was all uniform and dark, and I'm like, go on the line. No. That's too much. It's too much. What my mates goes, have you dyed your beard? I went, no, I just plucked all the greys out.
All 10,000 of them, yeah.
I've done it a few times.
I'll do that again.
I've never bothered with hair dye, man. I'm just like, nah, fuck it. You know? I'm getting old. I'm going grey. I'm going grey. If you're bald, sure, fuck it. It's bald, you know? Just go with it. The old baby blues and the Irish accent work fucking charm as it is. I don't need any more ammunition, lads. I need to leave some for the rest of you.
Leave some for the rest of us.
It's good actually just to leave some space.
Take one for the team.
I know. Bless. Thankfully, me missus doesn't bother watching these streams.
You watch, you'll be the first one she does watch. You'll be in the doghouse tomorrow.
I was watching that stream there. Look at me.
What did you say?
Love it. But definitely, no.
It's alright. You're a long way in now. You're safe.
There's no escape. I couldn't run away if I wanted to, mate. She knows where my family live now. That's it. It's game over.
So what's that? The next big meet up then? The wedding, is it?
The wedding, gee. Well, if you're paying for it, catering, mate, no bother. You know, it ain't cheap.
I could do you a quote if you want.
Yeah, sure, why not? Sure, the last big, we went to Steve-O's wedding. Who was next on the list? Probably me, unless Dreg gets the fucking finger out big time. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing on the cards at the moment, so.
There could be a wild card play, dim. Ta-da! Well, fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Dread said yes.
Yeah.
Cool, that'd be a feisty one, wouldn't it?
Nah.
I knew there was magic in the air when you'd see the sparks fly, along with the chairs and the tables and whatever else they had to hand.
Bless him.
It would be good. Like, it could easily meet a nice nurse. It could just happen.
Of course.
At least he's in the environment for it. I'm like,
I'll get himself a nice nurse. Oh, Jesus, yeah.
We've all seen The English Patient.
Have we? I turned it off pretty quick there.
I've not seen it either. But I get the gist. Bed baths.
Oh, dear.
Was that the Singing Detective?
You just got to feign an injury now, Dread. Get yourself in the hospital.
No, I'm terrified.
Get a few bed baths.
Steve was currently sorting out some storage with some new furniture.
Who is?
Steve-O.
Steve-O?
Yeah. By the sounds of it, has he got himself some swanky shelving for his hobby setup?
I wonder if it's that video he shared with us.
It was quite good. It was a nice video. I mean, it was some lovely shelving, but it was just like a metal rack shelving. And the fella had sort of like coated all the shelves in black sheets, just bed sheets, to sort of matte black, and put backing boards on, coated. And then
Same as I've got there, that stuff, isn't it?
That sort of stuff.
That's
it was all magnetised strips around big bits of like plastic over the front, so you could see through it, and it was all sealed away from dust and that. But he then listed like a spreadsheet of all the bits included.
$700, wasn't it, or something?
$750.
Yeah, so it was quite expensive. You could buy one cheaper than that, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, it did look really good, though, to be fair.
Steve-O's super hands now, isn't he?
and they shut. But they still get dust in them, and there's only like a little crack, like doing the side of the doors and that.
I'll say he's super hands now, isn't he? Man with van.
Man with van,
Man with van, yeah, do everything now. Yeah, got a screwdriver, do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I see an SAS man being questioned on like the 3 things he'd have on a survival island. I think he said like a knife, a water receptacle, and like warm clothing. You know, whereas I was thinking like white van, man, it's like the white van, screwdriver, and a pencil, mate. Fucking sorted.
Copy of the sun.
Copy of the sun. I was thinking exactly the same. And a dashboard full of shit.
Dashboard full of empty McDonald's bleeding cups with the sticker still
coffee
attached.
cups.
You know what I mean? Gets any help? Sure, dig in there. You get yourself a free coffee there, would go on the fuck.
And old parking tickets.
Add it to the collection. Yeah, fucking.
No one reads newspapers anymore. That's so 15 years ago, or at least.
You can't even read them online because as soon as you click on it, you just bombarded.
That does my bleeding nothing. Click on this. You need to subscribe. Get fucked.
Yeah, and all the pop-ups. Oh, Jesus.
Try and grab you a good headline. You think that sounds interesting.
Read a paragraph, and then you've got like scroll down 2 pages to get to the next bit of the paragraph, and scroll down a bit more to get to the next 2.
No. The second paragraph, you've got to subscribe.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, mate,
you get invested in the story, and then you're
what
like,
makes you think I'm going to pay for it online? Like, yeah, fucked, will you?
Yeah, shocking.
Don't even bother to pick them up when you go in the fish and chip shop or anything like that now. Like they've sometimes got them in like there, or the car garage or somewhere like that. They might have some newspapers laying around, but don't even bother to look at them anymore. It's just, I don't know, they're so irrelevant now. Everything that you see on them, you're like, oh yeah, I saw that 3 days ago on YouTube.
It's a shame though, because the amount of times, I mean, when I was younger, I was living with my mother's and that, and she'd want a new carpet. I'd take the old carpet up. And my father used to use newspaper as like the underlay. There'd be newspaper on the carpet, and it would be sort of like, history.
Yeah. I don't know,
50 years ago, or you've got like little sort of snippets of things you had no idea. I was only a proper kid at the time, but yeah.
The only time I used newspapers.
And then one day I found all my old Beanos, and I was fizzing.
Vacuum tube. My missus buys newspapers. All she does with them is she soaks them in water and wraps them around her cake tins when she's baking to keep the moisture.
Go for whatever one's cheapest and you get the most paper.
Yeah, exactly. We don't read them. She just wraps them around her cake tins. Mad. The British Library still collect every single printed newspaper, though, don't they? Every single printed paper they collect, even local.
Well, the BBC, you're talking about
it's crazy. The British Library's insane. I saw a little video on YouTube, I think it was. Every single thing that's printed, they try and get a copy of and they do it digitally now, obviously. They don't keep physical copies of everything. But like even like flyers and political, flyers you get through your door during election time and all that, they keep every single copy. They try and get a copy of everything, printed media, everything. They try and get everything.
Fucking
and they get a copy
Games
of the
Workshop.
Codex is taking up 2 kilometres of our bloody storage.
Another one. You're having a laugh. They're about to do them.
The archives, the room, they've just building another room. It's like a kilometre long or something, and all this stuff. It's just unbelievable. The amount of stuff. It's just insane. Just to keep the record.
Speaking of archives, if you go on to the BBC, they actually have a massive sound library for free sound effects. Like one of my mates put me onto it there. Yeah. So that's worth checking out.
Hang on, is your mate called Dougal?
No.
I'm just thinking from Father Ted, because Dougal didn't have the BBC sound effects album.
Oh, the animals, wasn't it? The Beast of fucking
it was
Craggy
like
Island or some shit,
Volume 4 or something. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was definitely him.
Childhood well spent.
That was too good. That was too good.
I remember that as a kid, though.
Definitely
Any
called
time Father Ted was on, there was no children on the street then. See, this is back in the day when we used to play on the street, right? So that would have been the 90s, you know, pre-fucking social media and all that, and fucking smartphones, right?
It'd be unusual to not be out on the street.
Yeah, like I remember being out on the street when it was, and I was like, what's going on? Where's all the kids? Oh, Father Ted's on. I'm like, bollocks, quick, run in, you know what I mean? Because everyone watched it. Everyone watched it. Like,
as a family,
as a family, the whole family watched it. Like,
and this was back when something was on at 9 o'clock, you had to go and watch it at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You didn't. It was none of this sort of like, it's all right. I've got to
stream it tomorrow.
None of this +1 fucking channels
it's
either.
It's funny how things have changed like that, and like it's crept up on me. I haven't even realised until I was having a conversation with one of the lads at work. One of the young lads at work. He's 23, 24, and we're talking about fantasy football leagues. And I was like, we're talking about, you know, because they're all obviously online and that. And I used to do one. It was on WAP internet, and it was really basic. And I thought, shit, I used to do one by post. And he just pissed himself off for about 10 minutes. He used to by post. You have to fill your transfers in, and where you were picking all that and send it off. Then you get a stack of sheets like that back. You get it back, and you'd be leafing through all the different leagues and all the different. It was ridiculous, but it was all post. Yeah, buy camps to play your league and that. It was that would have been like in the early 90s, mind. But
that's crazy. Different.
You couldn't get his head around it.
Changed.
And as I was thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous.
But it worked.
Yeah, it bug you if you was the one that had to go and make the teas during the commercial break, and you come back like in, you know, the show's like a minute and a half in, and it's always that bit just after the break where something vital happens, isn't it?
A big cliffhangers.
None of this fucking pausing it 5 minutes beforehand and then just fast forwarding through ads and shit, or pausing and making your tea. No. None of that.
Well, do you remember certain programs?
Yeah, fucking scoot on. You've got 3 minutes to get that fucking tea made.
Go.
Well, certain programs on ITV and that caused problems for the power grid.
I was about to say the biggest.
When the break hit, everybody switched the kettles on.
Wasn't that Charles and Diana's wedding? Was that something to do with that? The wedding or something?
I don't think the royal weddings have tea breaks.
The biggest, I think the biggest one in Ireland was the World Cup. I think it was 1994. Air Power Grid had the biggest spike in one of the matches Ireland was playing. I can't remember which one, but on the half break, everyone in the country put the fucking kettle on. Everyone.
Everyone's lights went.
Fucking hell.
Keith, you're right. Kids these days won't know the struggle.
That's it.
Everything's on demand. Even, I mean, I've found it's affected me as well. Even like me, I can't stay focused on something as well as I used to, because I used to have to watch the whole thing or wait for things to happen. Now it's just entertainment on demand when you want it, what you want, for as long as you want. And it's sort of like, I think that's why things like reels and shorts and you know, whatever else you call them on all different platforms are so popular, is like TikTok and that, because you just sit and watch and go, yep, 3, 2, no, it hasn't caught my attention, next one, and you just go through it. Like Star Wars was my favorite film. It's still up there. The New Hope from a kid up to you know, now really. And I remember the girls hadn't seen it, and I sat them down when they were about 8 and 12, and I said, right, we're watching New Hope. And I sat there and I watched it with them, and I was watching it like through their eyes. Like wanting them to love it, wanting them to go, oh, this is amazing.
Too slow for them.
I was just thinking, fucking hell, man, we're 40 minutes in and you've only farmed moisture. Can we just can something happen?
Get to the good stuff.
It's horrific. And I find now I'm more like that than I used to be. I will flick through, sit there going, oh, and then go, oh shit, an hour's passed. Shit, and I've done nothing but flick through 60-second clips.
Too easy to do, isn't it?
Pretty old Sky channels. Only when you're flicking through Sky channels, like when there's loads of them, you a lot of the time you're skipping through because you like everything you find, you're like, oh, it's halfway through, or you know, they're halfway through a conversation, you know. Whereas with that, it's better because obviously each thing is starting when you get to it, and you go, oh yeah, what's that? Yeah, well, no, not interested. So Yeah, that's why it's so addictive, I'd say. I mean, I do it. I don't even use TikTok, but I do it on Instagram, and I do it on
Instagram Reels.
Facebook.
Yeah.
But as you say, when it's halfway through, or I've missed the start, or it's halfway through. Now everything's obviously at your fingertips. But because everything's at your fingertips, you could watch anything. And because you can watch
indecision paralysis, isn't it? It's like,
yeah.
I do that with Netflix. You go through Netflix. You're like, scroll. There's nothing. There's 10,000 things on there, and I'm like, I'll just watch The Office again for the 15th time.
That's exactly
what
I
mean.
Do.
Like, yeah, it's unbelievable. The amount of times I go back to something I know.
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh, do I want to waste the time?
If you watch something you haven't seen and it's not that good, I don't know about you, but I feel like I've wasted my time.
I could have watched something I like.
What a waste that was. If I'm sat here in my little, grotto, then it's fine because I can be doing something else whilst it's on. I don't mind if it's a bit of a stinker. But if I'm in the living room,
it's got to be class.
The dedicated watching. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
There's something to be said for a social media purge for me. I think it's coming soon. I've been thinking it for a little while. Like just.
Are you? Oh yeah, you never stop on social media, mate. Wow, always fucking popping off on it. Jesus.
just delete the lot. That's it. I think. Yeah.
As long as you don't get off together and die if you do it, like.
No.
Oh, I don't do that. Oh, I don't do Facebook. Oh, do you still do Facebook?
Social media. Oh, I wouldn't catch me doing that sort of thing. Oh.
I just like you say though, you waste so much wasted time. Like you spend like an hour just like looking at shit that you don't need to look at.
No, and then there's so much of it is trying to get you engaging all the time, and what gets you engaging is negativity. So it's feeding on fucking negative shit all the time. It's not good for you. Like it's really not.
No, it's not. It's not good for anyone.
No.
Yeah.
Tiring.
Yeah. Very draining.
Yeah, draining. Yeah, exactly that. There you go. Draining. It is.
Yeah, that is the worst thing for me. Is like first thing in the morning, the phone's there beside me, and I find I waste a half an hour, 20 minutes are gone just fucking scrolling through shit without even realising it. It's like, oh yeah, I have to get out of bed and get ready for work. Like, come on, the fuck, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, for fuck's sake.
And then you get back home and you haven't done your laundry and you're like,
here's the thing for you. Try to remove Facebook from your phone and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I had that problems with that years ago when I tried to get rid of it. So
yeah, you can't straight uninstall it. It's not like a standard app. You literally have to go. No, yeah, you can't. I tried to uninstall it before on Android, and I literally had to go in. You couldn't uninstall the app, but you had to go in and shut it down manually. Like, and it's still there but hidden. Yeah, it's insidious.
Yeah,
absolutely insidious stuff. Like,
but on the other side of the same coin, if you ever get hacked and you want to get back into it, you've got no chance.
Yeah, no chance.
Just sack it off. Just sack it off.
Just good luck.
That's happened to me, missus. And she sort of reported the fact she'd been hacked, so they locked it down. And then she said, "Well, how do I get back in?" And you kind of get any help.
No.
Yeah, that's so crap. I've got two other profiles that I haven't used for ages. I can't get into. Well, one of them I haven't used for ages, and the other one I accidentally set up too when I was setting up a new one.
I mean, it's like a massive miss.
Dres, in your line of work, that you kind of need that now. Though nowadays you need to be on social media. That's
the only reason I signed up to it, because it's the place I'm getting my work.
Yeah, it's mad. You need it now. It's like it's become a necessity. It's like my line of work. You got to advertise on there. Because so many people get all the information through Facebook, Twitter, whatever.
It's the whole the link to the messenger groups as well.
Yeah,
like she was like, "Well, I'll just not bother. I can't be bothered starting again. Sack it off. I don't care." But then realised that all our work colleagues sort of like were shift swaps and sorting things out for work, and was all done on Messenger. And she just hadn't got access to it. I'm like, look, just set up another Facebook account, download Messenger. Don't bother with, photos and pics and adding some kid you went to school with, like 35 years or anything. Just use it for the Messenger, and that's all you need it for. So last I heard, Shasta was going to be.
But this is the thing that does me bleeding nut in as well. Like, when you're communicating with groups now, it's not just like Facebook Messenger. It's Facebook Messenger, it's Discord, it's WhatsApp, and it's however many different fucking WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups and Discord groups. And it's just like, what the fuck? Oh, and we're sending emails, by the way. Oh, yeah, and then there's like a fucking Teams meeting. There's a bleeding fucking, who knows, like, Zoom, Google. It's crazy.
My work email does my head in. I spend probably 2 hours a day just going through everything on my work email. It's crazy. And I'm a chef. So I should be cooking, not scrolling through emails. Yeah. But I have to pay all my invoices. I have to approve everything on email. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. 10 years ago, I never even turned on a computer for work. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, cook, sign it off on a bit of paper and give it to the accounts people, and that's it. Now it's everything's all digital, the whole thing. Mad. But it takes more time digitally than it does.
Yeah. What I found with my job when I was working for other people, when they give you a PDA, you'd end up spending so much time filling shit out. It's like, oh, this is dragging. This is really dragging. I could do this job a lot quicker without this shit.
Exactly, without all the crap, that goes with it. It's all about accountability now, isn't it, though? So you've signed your name, that's it. We can trace you, Yeah,
I don't miss that. Now I'm working for myself. I don't miss any of that. Oh.
You are watching another episode of Grumpy Old Bastards.
Hobby hangout with the miserable bastards.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
I mean, we are pandering to the demographic, let's be honest.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Well, I've done absolutely zero hobby. I've sat in my room.
But did you enjoy yourself?
It's been lovely hanging out with you guys. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, that's true.
It is nice. We'll have a chat.
Yeah. Shoot the shit.
Of course, yeah.
That's it.
We've been busy base counting Battletech stuff. You know what I mean? Like I said, the non-metallic metals, I don't have the concentration levels during the stream. And it takes forever. Jesus.
I saw some Battletech minis recently, like a picture on some social media.
Probably Scars.
I'm assuming you put them on from an event or something.
Oh, UK Games Expo, yeah. Some of the lads from Leeds Wargaming Club did a big, huge diorama, and they 3D printed a mech scale dropship, and it was fucking huge, like. But UK Games Expo was good crack.
Yeah. Well, I did see a couple which I thought I wouldn't mind painting them. I wouldn't mind having a shot with them. I mean, he was a big bugger. But I can't give you much more information than that, really.
Well, find a picture and send it to me, and I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, because I was thinking if I was to buy these, I'll have to, see you first and see where I'll get them from, and how I would get them.
See how much I can get off them.
So, Scar, what's the discount on these?
For you, mate, twice the going rate. Fucking.
It's 150% more.
Nah, it's pretty easy, you know what I mean. You don't need much. But finding mechs that you like the look of, always go for ruler cool is what I say.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's the fun thing about them is, you can proxy stuff, but even when you buy a miniature, there's loads of variants of them. It's not just one miniature if you look at it like that. It's like 8 or 10 miniatures in one sometimes. They'll have so many variants to them. Do
they come in a box as a variant, or do you have to buy different miniatures to get the variants?
It will depend. Like some of them, they'll come in a box and it'll have a variant, but that's on rare occasion. Most of the time you're buying different boxes will have different variants if you want. But for the most part, you don't really need to have the exact Loadout. I know
No, you
some
can just
people
say
absolutely
it's got
love it.
because it's all done on a sheet, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's all done.
it's all on your.
You mark your weapons down. Yeah.
It's all in your mech sheet. So you go, well, this is me mech, and this is the sheet for it. As long as the sheet's correct, you're laughing, you know.
Yeah.
You're
don't have to. Like, it's not WYSIWYG and all that stuff.
I mean, no, it's not WYSI. Well, it's not enforced WYSIWYG. Like for God's sakes, when we play in the tournaments, you bring 2 mechs. You bring a big mech and a little mech, and you proxy all the different mechs that are there. Because you have to remember, there's so many mechs in BattleTech, and the game's out so long that some of the mechs literally don't have miniatures. They don't. They've never gotten a wreck because there's like several 100,000. Like fuck, there's loads. There's loads of them.
Yeah.
There's loads of them. There's loads of mechs, and they haven't created miniatures for all of them. So like, you know what I mean? They're still making them. So they're still coming out with new designs. They're still releasing.
Do many people make their own, like scratch build their own mechs or not?
Oh, bro, there's a whole book for building your own units. Like, it's promoted in the game. Like,
what to like scratch build your own mechs, or is it?
They're not. There are construction rules in BattleTech where it's like, this is how you build a unit. What do you want to build? Like literally, what do you want to build? Do you want to build an Ork Stomp It in BattleTech? All right, well there you go. There's big super heavy walker rules, and off you pop. You know what I mean? Like, what was I was sitting down and I was arsing around with it. The examples they gave you was like a Zeppelin, a lander carrier, which is basically a giant landing pad on tracks that dropships land on. Super heavy carriers. I think one was a submarine. Making your own mechs. Like, you can make whatever you want. BattleTech's like that though. It's like, it's a core game, but there's a lot of, right, here's the game. Here's a shitload of optional rules. Do what you want. You know what I mean? What's not to love?
How would it go down? Like if you're at a tournament and someone turned up with their own sort of, I suppose if it fits on the hex, no one gives a shit, do they?
It just depends. Most of the time, if you're making your own units, you'll say to your mates, look, we've created this unit, here's the sheet for it, have a look at it. But like, there's a thing for calculating it. The tournaments I go to, you'll pick, there'll be each round, there'll be a selection to pick from, because there's pre-made selections. Basically, these lads have been running tournaments for 15, 20 years. And it used to be everyone just built whatever force they wanted. But there's a lot of mechs that are very optimized. So what they said was, there's several thousand mechs or whatever. But the problem is you'd see the same sort of handful of mechs again and again because they were optimized. Yeah. So they got sick of that. So what they did was they started doing rounds. And each round, there'll be like 6 pairs that you'll pick from. And they'll all be balanced off of each other. There might be 5 mechs or whatever. And that's what you'll do for each round. And then, so they might pick a round where all of the mechs are absolute shit boxes that nobody uses. But everyone has to pick a shitbox to use.
Everyone's got to
try and make the best out of it, like, And that's what I.
But if you turned up with minis, with models which weren't official BattleTech models that somebody just built, kid bash together, cobble together out with bits of this and that, and would that be frowned upon?
No, I think it'd be fine. I mean, if it's an official event, they'll probably want you to use official miniatures. But at that case, they'd probably give you miniatures to play. Like, literally. Like, if you think about it, right? If you buy the beginner box set for the format that I play, right? If you buy the beginner box set, that's 2 mechs. You can now play in the tournaments I play in. Yeah, that's literally the beginner box set. There you go. That's all you need. Yeah. It comes with 2 mechs. It's like 25 or 30 quid, depending where you buy from. And now you're laughing. You're turning, because you just turn around and you go, right, this mech is this one, and this mech is going to proxy as that one. Grand. And then you start, But yeah, people.
What's the painting rules? Like a tournament, like do they have painting rules? Do you have to have painted mechs or not really?
It's a lot more relaxed. I mean, there's some tournament formats that some guys are trying to bring in where painting will count towards it, but that's not really the BattleTech community. It's more sort of get in and get playing. You know what I mean? Like, literally... More
about the game than the miniatures.
Yeah, well, it's more about the community and getting people involved.
Yeah.
The people that played BattleTech down in Hastings, they said that their group, none of them paint them.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't bother painting them. They just bother to buy the miniatures and start playing.
Like that at all.
Yeah.
But that's not everyone's cup of tea. But you know what I mean? It's,
No, it's it.
It all depends what you want to do yourselves. But, like... people rock up to our club and they won't have any miniatures at all, and we'll be like, there's a painted army to play with. It's only 4 miniatures or whatever. This guy's gonna play against you. He'll teach you how to play. There's the map. There's the terrain. You don't have to pay to play. We just play in a function room at a bar. Just get in, play a game. You know what I mean? We order pizzas, we buy drinks, and then we're all, they're happy enough to have us then.
Yeah, nice.
And, you know what I
Good
mean?
community. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want. It's all about building community and promoting the game and enjoying your hobbies, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And getting people into that. I think that's what it is for me at this stage. Is I really enjoy sharing my hobby with people and seeing them enjoy it themselves. You know what I mean? That's a really big thing for me. Is sharing that enjoyment, sort of harking back to when I first started with wargaming and remembering like the Games Workshop staffers that taught me how to paint and taught me how to play, and those sort of core memories that I have. And I find it's a privilege to me to be that for someone else, to be those core memories, introducing someone to wargaming. That's what I love. That's my bread and butter now. That's what keeps me going. You know what I mean?
BC says the first game is always free.
The first game is always free. That's true. That's very true.
Nice.
Well,
it's so true. Yeah. No, you can have this one on the house, mate. Yeah.
But like, we're going to be going to
clues in the name. Clues in the name on the green screen. The clues in the name on the green screen.
I mean, I didn't name it Plastic Crack for nothing, like,
The first one's free.
That's more a reflection of me than anything else, because you can be guaranteed if something new comes out for Battletech, there's one put aside for me, and then a few for the store.
Yeah.
I'm just as bad. But no,
how's the store going?
Yeah, it's tipping away. It's the Kickstarter's coming, so it's gotten a little quieter, which is to be expected. And then once people get their Kickstarter stuff, it'll pick up again. I expect that to happen. You know what I mean? It's a very very niche product. Like, it's not just a case of I'm selling wargame and stuff. I'm selling a specific wargame. You know? Yeah. It'd be different
if not a multitude of things. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be different if I if I expanded out. But like, I'm looking at the cost of stock, storage space. Your overhead start to grow. Then you know what I mean? And it's like, it's just It could
get out of control quickly, can't it? Yeah.
It could grow. I mean, it could really grow, but at the same time, it's having the capital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having the capital for it. I don't have that capital. You know, I still have to pay rent. It's a fair chunk of me old paycheck is the rent. You know what I mean? It ain't cheap these days. And overhead.
You do everything online though.
It depends. I go to I think the next convention I have booked in person. I have a stall. So I like to do a hybrid stall. So the whole point of me actually setting up the store is introducing people to the game, and then they love it, and then they wanted to get into it. But then we didn't have the box sets, and stores weren't selling the box sets.
Where'd you get your stuff from? Yeah,
exactly. So that was the whole point, was to be like, right, I've introduced you to this game, you love it. There's the beginner box set. Knock yourself out. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to do. Is I like to demo games. I know if you go to conventions, people just sell stuff. But the thing for me is the game. You know what I mean? I'm selling
getting hooked on the game. Yeah,
I'm selling you the game. I want you to get into the hobby then. And then the store is the supplement of it. It's like, right, did you enjoy that? Are you new to wargaming? All right, you've never played wargaming before. There's a beginner box set, because this is aimed at people who have literally never wargamed before. You'll dip your toe. It'll cost you 25 quid. If you love it, great. If you don't, worst case scenario, you've got a little board game for 25 quid. If you're already into wargaming and you know that you're going to like it, here's a bigger box set. It has more mechs, has more maps, there's a bit more to it. You're sorted. You know what I mean? If you're really in love with it, there's this bigger box set that has even more miniatures in it. You know what I mean?
I think when you're someone new and you go to, especially at a convention or somewhere like that, and there's all this, it's very overwhelming. Especially if you come up to a store and they've got a load of products and stuff, and you just like,
all different formats and systems.
And you start thinking, God, it's going to be some kind of massive money pit. You know, I could throw so much money at this, and so you start thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't even bother. So having someone sort of say to you, like, look, you don't need lots for this, and you only need this, is definitely a good sale.
Yeah,
to get you in.
But this is the thing for me as well. Like, I'm a wargamer. I don't want to be upselling people for the sake of it, and then they're not happy in the long run. That's not the thing for me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to try and sell you a box set because it's more expensive when I know it doesn't suit you. There's no point in trying to sell you an 85 quid box set when I know you're only dipping your toe, because you'll get pissed off and you won't get into the hobby then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no, mate, look, this box set, this will do you for now. If you like that, then get a bit more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can dip your toe a bit more. Or what are you after specifically? Oh, this unit. Well, that's in this box. You know, you don't need to go nuts. You and your mate getting into it. Well, if you split it between you, it'll only cost this much. You know. I think there's that aspect of it as well for me. It's like, I'm not just, I set this up as a business and I'm here to make money. It's like, I'm a war gamer. I enjoy wargaming. I want to promote my hobby. You know, how do I facilitate that? And then I decided, like a mad cunt, sure, I'll start a store, like, you know, fucking. Sounds like a great idea. Love it. But yeah, no, it's good crack. I enjoy it. But we're getting the ball rolling for Spiel Essen. So we're going to Germany in October. So that'll be fun. Be teaching people Leviathans, which is like an airship combat game that I like, and Battletech as well, and a few other Catalyst games. But we will be over there, so if anybody's over in Eschen Spiel in October, say hello. I'll be there. Like the madman I am. That's good crack. I like it. It's the biggest convention I've ever been to, though. It's 5 days long last year, and I think there was 195,000 people altogether over the 5 days.
Christ. Wow.
Are you going for the full 5 days?
Yeah, I go, because you go for setup and breakdown, like. So, yeah, it'd be good crack as part of like the Catalyst team.
That's commitment.
Oh, yeah, like it's. Like, mate, we were living off of Strepsils because, like, your voice would go just from talking all the time. But because there's a large, the halls are large, the background noise is loud, so you have to speak a little louder. So literally
shouting over it,
yeah. After a couple of days, your voice starts to be, you know, torn to shreds. So we're literally chewing on Strepsils to keep ourselves going. But it's good crack. It's like there's a good team. The lads are good. You have a good, you know, we have a good laugh. Do you know what I mean? It's great seeing kids getting into the hobby, man. You know, and I'm determined. If I see a kid coming up with a bleeding space marine in his hand, I'm like, he's walking away with a battle mech in his hand. I don't give a shit what's happening. There you go, son. Knock yourself out.
I'm going to turn you.
Yeah, 2 bleeding, right? See, never mind that space marine. There's a mech. Hey, this looks cool, doesn't it? Yeah, go on, take it. Fucking off your pop. You know?
I remember the first time I took my boy up to Warhammer World, he took Gaz Gold Thracker with him. He wanted to just take. He just took him. He just because he loved him. He thought he was great. He was just showing everyone Gaz Gold Thracker. It was only like 5, I think.
Oh, nice.
I walking around that display, he absolutely loved it. You know, through the exhibition there, he was like, oh, his face was just like, couldn't believe it. Didn't know where to look. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, very cool.
Right, boys, we're 2 hours, 3 minutes into this one. Are you gonna wrap it up there, Clint?
Yeah, so what did you get done tonight? Apart from a lot of moaning.
I painted a fuel can.
Oh, way! Well, it's more than you've done for the last 5 weeks, so that's a win.
Exactly.
Hobby wins.
Hobby motivation. I got some base coating on the mix. So I got some base coating. I got Vallejo texture. Jesus, this bleeding green screen thing. Vallejo texture on them. Green for the grass. Base coating them. So I got a few base coated. Some progress. Nice.
Yeah. Like you said, you probably finished a whole 1,500 point army, didn't you?
No chance. I got look at that. I should have been using that. Camera's never been out of focus all the time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice.
Just the skin done. Just about. I've got a little bit of highlighting to do on them.
Nice.
Yeah, they're coming along.
Are they the Meng tanks that you've converted up?
They're different. They're the other ones, aren't they?
These were
these ones?
the little they're not
The
men.
Timu.
Yeah, the Timu tanks. Yeah.
Did you leave the pullback mechanism in them, or you took it out? Did you?
No, I took it out.
That would have been bleeding gas. That.
And then I know,
Charge!
I was meant to fill them gaps in, and then I sort of like just forgot, and it wasn't just I picked one up and went, tits, because from the front you can sort of see it.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
when
but
you're
I mean,
actually laying your head on the battlefield.
Nobody's down level with the battlefield, and unless they're having a really bad day.
That's it. But the little grots, man, I wish I'd put grots in all of them. I think they look class.
They do, they look
yeah.
to me.
No, it's very cool. Yeah, nice, man.
Sweet.
I love him with his little hat.
It's in keeping with the Rogue or Dawn tank anyway. It's the way things are done these days. Don't worry about it.
Don't need the bottom. Yeah.
Ha ha ha! Fuck you, Rogue or Dawn. That's about 80% covered.
Yeah, you've done better than them, so don't worry.
Yeah, I do a little bit better. As long as you up GW stuff, you're all right.
I'm going to cheat and show you what I did last time I did some hobby. Was a little grot riding on a crew. Yeah.
I like the green stuff on the reins.
It's for the Gorkamorka, isn't it?
Yeah, for Gorkamorka, yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I like the reins.
Little grot riding, got some reins. Yeah.
Nice.
Riding on a crew. Made a little green stuff saddle and stuff. Yeah, just pissing around with that.
Looks class, mate.
Yeah.
I've got some videos coming out soon as well. Actually, I pulled my finger out over the last week or so, and I finished up a few things. So I've been putting some videos together. So I might even get something actually out where I've built something, as opposed to just going, look what I've bought. You can shake it. Oh, fuck, it's all in me. GW!
Yeah, sponsored by Kleenex.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. I've got some of those videos as well.
They're the only fans, you know what I mean? That's Patreon.
Subscription only. Yeah.
There's a paywall to get to that content, I tell you, huh?
Ah, man, he's joking. I couldn't give it away. But
he's tried many times.
Many times. Many times. But yeah.
We're going to call it a night.
I think we should.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't forget to drill your barrels from Scar.
See you next time. Ta-da.
Enough said.
Catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.
Bye.